What is happening, Bridgewater Wrestling fans? It is Justin and Nick from the No Holds Barred and the Last Fan Standing podcast, bringing you an important announcement about Twin City Wrestling and the Bridgewater Exhibition. Friday night, July 26th, Twin City Wrestling presents TCW Tag Wars live at the Bridgewater Exhibition. In the main event, you are going to see a tag team match of Julius Fantana and Dazzling Dick Durning, the TCW Heavyweight Champion, taking on the team of JP Sims and Sexton Phoenix. You will see the TCW debuts of the Snap City Hooligans, Sean Spears and Tyson Dukes, as well as Maritime Wrestling favorite, the B Machine. You will see the R&R Express and the Gyration Nation in a no-holds-barred street fight. You will see much, much more. Friday night, July 26th, Bridgewater Exhibition, TCW presents Tag Wars.
What is happening, party people? It is the Last Fan Standing with Justin and Nick, here to bring you a preview on the WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Exactly. 2013 Money in the Bank is this Sunday. Headlined, of course, by two Money in the Bank ladder matches. So two new number one contenders will be crowned this evening. Not this evening, that evening, Sunday evening. And there will be some evening, exactly. There will be also two championship matches for the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships. It's actually a bit of a long card.
Weird.
Has the opportunity to be kind of okay. So we're going to give you a little preview here and see if maybe it's going to end up being okay.
I don't know. Are you going to stream it?
Yes.
Good. I'll be watching if you stream.
All right, fair enough.
If you stream, I'll have a place to watch.
Well, exactly, fair enough. I'm sure as fuck not going to buy it. So if I watch it at all, it'll definitely be on a stream. So we're going to start with the match that's on the pre-show. There is once again, of course, a pre-show like there is for pretty much every WWE pay-per-view now. The WWE Tag Team Championships will be on the line in the pre-show with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of The Shield defending the Tag Team Championships against the new number one contender, Uso! Jimmy and Jay Uso.
The Usos.
The Usos.
Yeah, okay. No.
What do you mean?
Right there.
What do you mean no?
I don't know. They're not going to take it off the Shield.
Oh,
and I don't know why they're putting the Shield in a pre-show match.
Well, I don't know why the tag title match is on the pre-show. Like that's the big thing that bothers me. That like you have championship matches that you're putting on the pre-show that 90% of your audience is not going to see. Right? Like I would be very surprised if 10% of the pay-per-view buys actually took the time to watch the pre-show. I would just be very surprised if they did, because you would have to, at that point, why not just stream the thing? You're already on the internet, why not just stream the thing, right? Yeah. So I would be surprised. I would be interested to see what their turnover is for their pre-show, but it would be kind of interesting to know. Yeah, I don't like the fact that this match is on the pre-show. I really don't. This is it's good enough to be a main card match, and why not just like siphon a minute or two off of one of the matches, or hey, just don't have a Divas title match, or put the Divas title match on the pre-show.
That would be the good thing to do.
Because who the fuck wants to watch the Divas match on the main card?
Well, then you wouldn't have a bathroom break.
Well, that's true.
In the mat.
Yes, you do. It's called Chris Jericho versus Ryback. Anyways.
Okay. Okay.
Oops. Who said that? It's not that I don't like Jericho, but we'll get into that when we talk about that match. It's kind of a redundant question, I guess, at this point, but who you got?
I got the Usos. No, I got the Shield.
It's definitely the Shield. The only caveat I can possibly see to the Shield not winning this match is if Dean Ambrose is going to win the SmackDown Money in the Bank. Because then I could see them taking a path where the Shield loses the tag titles, but then get involved in the Money in the Bank match to make sure that Ambrose wins that. I could see that going, but I wouldn't like it nearly as much as if the Shield just keeps the tag titles.
Yeah.
So I think we're both pretty confidently on the Shield here. I don't I don't expect I can't come up with a scenario where it makes sense for the Shield to lose the tag titles right now. If you had something like a fatal 4-way tag team, like the Shield with like the Usos and like tons of Funk and somebody, like when there's got to be like more than one team. I don't think one team's going to beat them straight up.
Dazzling Dick, Durning, and Fantana.
Exactly, Durning and Fantana. And something that makes sense. The R&R Express or something wins the WWE Tag Team Championships, but
there you go.
I really don't see a scenario where the Shield loses it. So I think we're both on the Shield in that one.
Yeah.
Hooray! Time to move on to the actual pay-per-view, and we're gonna get the crummy match that nobody really cares about out of the way. WWE Divas Championship. AJ Lee defending her Divas Championship, which she won at the Payback pay-per-view. In a rematch against Caitlyn. This feud is still happening?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Do you still find AJ Lee hot?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I would bone the crazy right out of her. No, I mean, let's be honest and let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah. It's definitely a spade.
It's definitely a spade. Oh yeah, she's gorgeous and she's like she's kind of a geek girl and she's kind of a gamer girl and stuff. So that's great for somebody like me. Yeah, no, I still find AJ very attractive. You know something? I can't get on board with the idea of Caitlyn being attractive. I can't get behind it. I don't know why. And I know like my buddy Dave Pellerin, who listens to this podcast every now and then, I believe, him and I get into these like grand debates about whether Caitlyn's actually attractive or not. And I guess I just can't see it. He sends me all these like sexy pictures of her and stuff. And I'm like, okay, granted, in that picture, she looks great.
Yeah.
But 95% of the other time, I don't know. She just doesn't.
It's true. I guess it's like any girl. They have their times when they look hot.
Right.
And other times you're just like, which with Caitlyn is like 95% of the time that she's in the ring.
Right.
And, the other times, maybe you're looking at a naked picture, and of course, any naked picture of most girls, you're going to be like, yeah, she's hot.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. That's where I'm going with this anyway.
Gender politics from Nick on the Last Fan Standing podcast. But I think you're absolutely right. But like, she tries to do the whole like kind of rock chick kind of thing that like Ashley Mazzaro was doing like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
but the difference between that is, it doesn't work for everybody. But like Ashley Mazzaro was gorgeous. And the only reason that we're talking about whether or not we can find Caitlyn attractive or not is because nobody gives a fuck about this match.
It's true.
Let's be honest.
Flat out not talking about the match.
Like who
would you want to bone in this match?
Exactly. Just like who gives a clean fuck about this match at all? And it's not that I dislike AJ in the ring, and it's not even that I dislike Caitlyn in the ring. It's just
not that we don't dislike
cares.
Divas matches. I mean, some Divas matches are pretty good.
Some of them have been really good, but you got to have the right talent in the ring, and you got to stop pigeonholing every female talent that you have and trying to convince people that they're all wrestlers, because they're not. Like, I would be perfectly happy to see, like, okay, Oksana, for example.
Right.
That, like, nice blonde, big tits, just whatever. I would still love to see her be Antonio Cesaro's valet. Remember when, like, Antonio Cesaro first showed up and she was his valet for the first, like, month or so that he was there, and then he just kicked her to the curb? I would love to. I just wish that she was still his valet, because she can't wrestle. She can't cut a promo. What the fuck else is she going to do? Be a valet. But no, they put her in the ring and they make her talk. And it's just like, oh my God, this is so painful.
Yeah,
but then again, at least we all get to go pee. Are we on AJ here to hold the title, or do you see them giving it back to Caitlyn?
No. I think AJ's going to hold the title. They're going to continue this feud for at least, well, this is WWE creative, so I'm saying the next 6 months.
Oh, Jesus. The whole thing just based off of, you said I had a secret admirer and you lied. Like, fuck. All right, whatevs, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're both on the Shield to hold the tag titles. We're both on AJ Lee to hold the Divas title.
Correct.
Okay, let's get to some matches that kind of halfways matter. WWE Intercontinental Championship match. We have Curtis Axel, the newest Paul Heyman guy, taking on The Miz.
Interesting.
Yeah, kind of. Don't really know why. Kind of came out of kind of sort of nowhere, even though The Miz did have the title before, and, you know, it's kind of whatever. Is there any reason to believe that they would give Curtis Axel the title just to have him lose it back to The Miz a month later? If they're actually trying to push this guy, can you see any reason why they would want to do that?
I don't see why. I mean, the Intercontinental title, I mean, I guess everybody got to win it in their
at
career.
Some point.
But it's really not a push for Curtis Axel to win the Intercontinental title. I mean, if it was something a little bit more substantial, like maybe United States Championship or something like that. I don't know. I don't really hold the Intercontinental Championship that high up in my books.
Okay, which actually really is really unfortunate, because it used to be this, it was really like the stepping stone to, like, you're the next guy that we can see as, like, WWF champion if you were the Intercontinental champion. Because, like, you think about the people that used the Intercontinental title as, like, a stepping stone to your top championship. You're talking about Bret Hart. You're talking about Edge. You're talking about these, like, guys that went on to be great champions that started as Intercontinental champions. Ultimate Warrior comes to mind too, even though he was a shitty fucking WWF champion, but still. Oh, that's gonna get this podcast all kinds of hate if anybody listens to it, because they're gonna be like, "Ooh, you don't like the Ultimate Warrior because his promos are fucking psychotic." It's like, yeah, I get it, but the psychotic Ultimate Warrior promos kind of wore off for me in terms of being like, "Oh, they're so great." It's like, no, they're kind of really bad. Anyways,
don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing down the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay, right.
I mean,
it's just not as significant to you as, say, the U.S. title.
Yeah, and I mean, going up from there, I mean, tag team championships. Mm-hmm. Then you got the world heavyweight and undisputed. And
that shows how important, I think, because I can see where you're coming from there, and that kind of goes to show how important we think tag team wrestling is, because, like, the conventional wisdom there is that the tag team titles are, like, bottom tier titles, because I don't see that at all, because really good highest quality tag team wrestling, there's nothing better in pro wrestling than really good tag team wrestling. So no, I would even I can definitely see where you're coming from there and everything like that. But it was like, I don't think we can really think that they're going to take the title off of Axel at this point. Because I think if you take the title off of him, well, like, okay, well, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Like, are you just going to go try to get the title back, I guess? And then it just kind of feels like they're doubling back and going back through their own tracks again, you know what I mean? On Raw last night,
yes,
Curtis Axel lost to Chris Jericho in a singles match. That was his first loss as Curtis Axel.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So he's not undefeated anymore. Does that kind of derail any of his momentum, do you think?
Not really. It's just like Ryback. When he came in, he was the stomper. Mm-hmm. He picked people up. He put people down.
I pick things up and I pick jobbers up and put them down. Yes.
He did what he did. He do what he do.
That's what I do.
Exactly. I'm just trying to think of a whole bunch of ways to put it.
So basically, you don't think him losing to Chris Jericho is that much of a momentum derailer?
No.
I think I tend to agree with you. Because well, and you mentioned Ryback, and because Axel's not the same kind of mold as Ryback, you know what I mean? He's not this unstoppable sort of monster thing. He's a technical wrestler, and I don't think like a technical wrestler doesn't need an undefeated streak. Like a big powerhouse guy needs an undefeated streak,
Right.
But like a really good in-ring technical wrestler doesn't really need undefeated streaks. So I think I would probably tend to agree with you there. Who you got in this match? Curtis Axel versus The Miz.
I think
for the
we
belt that
picked
you
it.
don't care about.
I didn't say I didn't care about it.
I know.
I did not say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
I just like to prod.
You put something in my mouth.
Just gross. Ew.
Ew. And by that I mean beer.
Exactly.
Budweiser. Ooh.
And others. So you said you think we kind of already established who we think is going to win it. Like,
yeah.
Probably think Axel's going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Probably a good reason to think so. Could this be one of those pay-per-views where there's a lot of title matches, but none of them change hands?
I would think so.
Do you think there's a possibility there? Yeah, I'm kind of getting that feeling too, because I don't think they're losing. I don't think the tag titles are going anywhere. I don't think the Divas title's going anywhere, and we don't think the Intercontinental title's going anywhere. So,
although they may prove us wrong.
Maybe they prove us wrong. Maybe all the titles change hands, and we're just like, well, what the fuck just happened? We have all new champions except Dean Ambrose.
Mind equals blown.
Exactly. Except Dean Ambrose, who didn't defend his title, and he's like, yay! I didn't lose it.
Like, comes out to the ring anyway and just, like, pans his fist into the friggin' mat three times and walks out.
I think every episode of Raw would be better if they did that.
He just comes out, stands in the ring, just like out of nowhere, jumps up straight in the air, fucking plows his fists in the mat three times and walks out.
I love this idea, and this is further reason why we need to be employed by WWE. All right, we have Chris Jericho versus Ryback.
Break the walls down.
Break the walls down. Meet on the. No, hang on.
Snap!
Break the walls down and meet on the table. Yeah, that's what you are. You can run, but you won't get too far.
Oh,
exactly.
You can run.
Meet on the table. Yeah, that's what you. I love Ryback. I love Ryback's theme song more than I love Ryback. Because I don't really love Ryback at all.
Okay.
But I do really enjoy that theme song. Moving on, kids. How do you spell pigeonholed? Like, this whole feud seems like it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, do you remember how this feud started?
I actually don't.
You can be forgiven for that. When they first named the participants in the Money in the Bank match on Raw.
Yeah.
When they first named them, Ryback, obviously Ryback and Chris Jericho were not in the match.
Okay. Yeah.
And Ryback was like, I just wrestled John Cena 2 months in a row and lost on pay-per-view, and you mean to tell me that I will not be in the Money in the Bank? That's my best Ryback impression there. I hope you liked it.
Oh, snap.
It was pretty good. And then Chris Jericho was also like, hey guys, I had the original idea for the Money in the Bank match. I created the Money in the Bank match, and you're not going to put me in the match? That's my Chris Jericho impression.
No, Chris Jericho, we're not going to put you in the match. Go and sing your songs.
And literally, they're just in the Vicky Guerrero's office at the same time. And they're both complaining. And then Ryback's like, you have done nothing to deserve being in the Money in the Bank match. And Chris Jericho's like, get off me, you bully. And then they just made this match for Money in the Bank. Credits. Like, there's your Like, there is your rivalry. That's it. That's exactly how it happened.
It's stupid.
And I just
It makes no sense.
It wasn't good. Like, yeah, so that was just the way the whole rivalry showed up, and it was just like, it wasn't built, it was nothing, it was just there.
It makes no sense.
Right, and they were just like, here you go, have this match at Payback, and we're like, okay, thanks guys, thanks so much for that, I guess. See ya. Like, you know, like, okay, whatevs. Here's a question.
Shoot.
We've all kind of gotten to the point where, like, we know that, like, Ryback has not exactly had a lot of success on pay-per-view. Right? Like, he's lost, like, I don't know, 400 matches in a row on pay-per-view or something like that. And, like, is this an excuse maybe to give Ryback his pay-per-view win?
I hope not.
But,
I definitely hope not.
No, but, like, if you think about it, wins and losses don't particularly matter to Chris Jericho. We talked about this on a previous podcast. So, like, WWE is very aware that the fans know that friggin' Ryback can't win on pay-per-view. And I
so
just...
what you're saying is that the fans know.
Yes.
So they're going to be automatically predicting this match, as we are right now.
Well, I think it's kind of natural audience
so they're
participation.
Going to be like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. This match is garbage. Where we already know what's going to happen.
Sort of.
You WWE creative can't surprise us because you're so goddamn predictive.
Sort of, but, like, I think the smart fans anyways are kind of looking at it like, okay, what is the point of Ryback if he doesn't win any matches on pay-per-view? Because so far he hasn't.
Right.
Or he's won like one against two jobbers. Exactly. But so, like, it's like, well, okay, so what's the point of Ryback if he can't win matches on pay-per-view? And if wins and losses don't matter to Chris Jericho, then it could be the point where, like, Jericho's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, pull one over.
You know, put one over, right? So, I mean, it's possible. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it might be the sort of avenue to give Ryback a pay-per-view win, but we'll have to see. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. It's hard to tell. But who? Well, I guess we kind of probably already answered this question, but who you got in this one?
Probably Chris.
You're going to take Chris?
Yeah.
I actually think I'm going to lean Ryback here.
Are you?
I think I am. And it's, you know what? It's a bad bet because he hasn't won yet. So it's a bad bet to take Ryback, but
you're going to anyway.
I think even if I was putting money on it, I think I'd put money on Ryback.
Would you?
I like Chris Jericho, I really, really do, but I think I would even put money on Ryback at this point, just because he's got to win eventually. So.
Those are gambling words, sir.
Exactly. We already had our fair share of gambling.
Oh,
at
buddy,
the
casino.
Did we? So Nick's going to be on Ryback. I think I'm going to be on Jericho here.
You got that reversed, mister.
I sure did. I sure did. I'm going to be on Ryback. Nick's going to be on Jericho.
There you go.
Hooray.
There you go.
Okay. Apparently I've had too much of this beer that I've had 2 sips of.
Oh. Moving on.
Tasty.
We have Money in the Bank match for SmackDown.
Woohoo!
Which I kind of hate now that they have a SmackDown Money in the Bank and a Raw Money in the Bank, but
You're not a fan?
Not really, no. So
you'd rather it just be the one match with like 4 guys from each brand, and there's like one. Yeah, I can see that.
I like it a lot better.
Yeah, fair enough. Because like, there's really no such thing as the brand extension anymore. Everybody's just on whatever show they want to be on anyway. So what's the point?
It makes no sense. So we have in this match for SmackDown, Wade Barrett versus Cody Rhodes versus Damian Sandow versus Dean Ambrose versus Fandango. versus the real American Jack Swagger.
Right.
And Antonio Cesaro.
So, some interesting kind of ideas I think could come out of this match. Although, first of all, there's nobody in this match. Like, there's nobody that you could see as like that guy's going to be the next world champion in this match at all. So I fear that like this match will just end up being like, yeah, okay, this person's going to win Money in the Bank, but whoever has the title, whether it be Del Rio or Ziggler or whoever, is gonna beat them. But in any case, there's we worry about those bridges when we get to them. One thing I noticed about both of the Money in the Bank matches is they've got 7 people in them. Which 7 just seems to be a strange number to me.
It is a weird number.
I guess it's just sort of psychologically unsatisfying. You know what I mean? Like even numbers.
It's an odd number.
Exactly.
It's odd.
And even numbers are satisfying numbers, but odd don't tend to be. That was my way of talking through a yawn. Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. Just seems, kind of a strange number, but whatevs. Out of the people that are in this match,
yes,
who can we immediately eliminate?
Fandango.
Yes. Okay. Fandango is the obvious one there, I think. Although I do imagine that at some point in this match, they're going to have a spot where like there's nobody else in the ring but Fandango. Everybody else has been knocked out of the ring, or they're fighting on the outside, and Fandango's just there in the ring with the ladder set up. And the crowd's just like, go get it, get it. They're like blowing their tops because Fandango might win. And then he just starts dancing.
I can see that.
He doesn't even try to climb the ladder. He's just like, screw it, I'm just going to dance. He just dances, and then, like, I don't know, Dean Ambrose comes in and clocks him or something like that. But
he gets thrown out.
What's that?
And he gets thrown out.
Exactly. And he gets thrown out, hopefully out of the whole building, so there's no even risk of him winning this match. Yeah, I think we can probably pretty easily eliminate Fandango. Yep. Safe to say we could probably eliminate both Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
Not that we don't
Pretty
like
much.
either one of them, because I think we both kind of like them, but I just think, I don't know, when you have both halves of a tag team in a match like this, it never really seems to make sense to have one member of the tag team to win it. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And they're still kind of a tag team, so
off and on,
and they're kind of butt buddies behind the scenes and stuff like that, intellectually. So, I mean, we can probably pretty safely eliminate them. That leaves us with Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Jack Swagger, and Antonio Cesaro. Now, let's remember, Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro are both members of Zeb Coulter. They're both with Zeb Coulter. It's both the We the People garbage.
Right.
Could this maybe, or I suppose, could this maybe be the last nail in the coffin for Team Road Scholars? Because what if one of them does win? Like, that's interesting. It's interesting. Like, if one of them did end up winning, could they play up like a whole jealousy angle of like one or two of them, and just like obviously not being very happy that the other one won, and jealousy and all this stuff. So they could very well play that up. That's a possibility. Well play that, and that would actually be nice. Dear Lord, it might be kind of intriguing. Content. Exactly. It might be kind of different. That's scary. That's scary. So there's that possibility. Here's another little thing that I thought about. What's that? Dean Ambrose, obviously, has the United States Championship. Yeah. No one ever who has held or who currently holds a minor championship at the time that they're in that match has ever won. So like you've never seen like the Intercontinental Champion or a tag team champion or whatever win the Money in the Bank at the time that they have the belt. Because I don't think Dolph Ziggler was the Intercontinental Champion when he won the belt.
No.
Or when he won Money in the Bank. So does that hurt Dean Ambrose's chances? Do you think?
I don't think so.
No?
I think he has a really good chance of winning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think they could go there even though he's the U.S. champion?
Even though he's the U.S. champion.
I tell you, I would be very, very interested in seeing a couple of months of, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. I think those matches would be pretty friggin' great. So I like the possibility of Dean Ambrose having a chance to win. He's probably one of my front runners. But who you got?
Who I got?
Who you got in the match? Who's winning?
Who's winning?
Who's winning?
In between who we got, Wade Barrett or Jack Swagger, Dean Ambrose, or Antonio Cesaro?
Right.
Well, I don't think Wade Barrett should win.
I think he's going to be too distracted trying to figure out what his theme song's going to be for this night before he's got to change it for next week.
Yeah. So that puts him out.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Swagger, I just don't like you.
Yeah, fair enough. We're just not fans.
Antonio Cesaro, I don't know. He's not holding anything.
No, and he doesn't have a ton of momentum.
No, he could need a push.
Yeah, could definitely need a push.
Dean Ambrose, though.
Dean's kind of the shining star in this one.
He is.
Man, it's gonna be hard for them to justify giving it to a guy that's got the U.S. title. But I'm kind of leaning that way too. It's kind of, for me, it's either Dean Ambrose or actually probably Wade Barrett, because Wade Barrett's got nowhere else to go. Like, he's already been Intercontinental Champion a number of times.
Yeah.
So he can't really go back to that. He doesn't have a logical tag team partner, so he can't go into tag team wrestling either. So it's either he takes the next step up, or he's just kind of floundering and nobody cares and he's got nothing to do. Creative has nothing
Wade
for
Barrett.
you. But he's Wade Barrett. It's the Barrett Barrage.
He's the boom.
Boom. Moved my microphone for that.
He has his cape and he friggin' flicks it off when he comes out.
It's like he's Superman or Chris Masters. Yeah, it's true. But like, yeah, I'm probably leaning Dean Ambrose too, with the caveat that I could see Wade Barrett maybe possibly winning it, because I think Wade Barrett is a guy that could feud with either Dolph Ziggler or the other guy, the Mexican guy that has the belt, Del Rio.
Yes.
That guy.